live. This is the best experience. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're just running a couple of minutes behind schedule today, but thank you for joining us. And for those who are new to the podcast, we actually like to do a little spot where we welcome our new Patreon members. And even with that, when you join the Patreon, you can ask questions. You submit your questions and you get your questions read here on the podcast. And for those who are watching right now, we have Chad Coy with us. And he's going to actually join us on the podcast. But Nick, let's get into those names.
Okay. Well, we'd like to thank Zheng Ping, Bao Wang, Eve Lin, and Austin M. Thank you for joining. We appreciate it. Without you guys, we can't do this. So thank you very much. One of the questions I got today it has more to do with, people's faith and stuff like that, and kind of like spiritually, and whether or not they should watch the U.S. news because of all the war footage and all the people dying and stuff like that, and the war in the Middle East. And they feel the war is tragic, which it is, with so many casualties, and don't understand why people have to fight. We all pray for peace everywhere, all the time. Nobody wants war. We also feel very sad as well. But what kind of mindset should you have facing this? And the mindset you kind of want to have facing this is you need to know what's going on, because not knowing what's going on in the rest of the planet or around you is just not a good thing. Even if the news is not good, even if it's depressing and sad and like a waste of life and stuff like that, you still need to know what's going on. You just have to understand it's just not something that you're going to push for or push forward for. You're going to do everything to pray for peace and have people, not fight and do things like that. And yeah, you can't understand why people fight, but they do. There's greed, there's, bad things in the world, and people want what others have and stuff like that. And it's just not right. But at the end of the day, you have to know what's going on around you, so you're not surprised if something does go, or comes near you. You know what's going on. So it's always good to stay informed, but try not to let it affect you that much. So
and I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of those main things too. Is like, even on that, it's better to be informed than uninformed, because then you can't make an intelligent decision on what you're choosing to watch and what you're choosing to accept into your life. So that's one of those main things. It's like you need to have a perspective on things so you can actually have an informed opinion, and not just be one of these people who are just like, I don't know, I don't see, I don't care. It's like, no, because that does nobody anything.
And I know it's going to be sad, and I know it hurts, like your inner feelings and stuff like that. It's not good. It's never good. But if you don't know what's going on and it starts heading your way, you want to be able to protect yourself, your family, and you know what's going on. So it's always good to know about things. Just don't let them affect your daily lives, other than, making situations where maybe don't support the companies that support it, that type of thing. Agreed. But anyway, the next is in competitive sports, you need to defeat your opponents in order to win. I thought we had this one last week. But in Strongman, the Strongman community, people often share their experiences and support of each other. Yeah, Chad and I do that all big time. Right, Chad?
Well, I think, you want to win, but I think the number one thing for me is when I go out there, or even my athletes go out there, so just do your best. Go out. I mean, you train for it. Leave your performance on the field, and however it lays. And it's like, if I'm competing against someone, I want to win. Trust me, I'm the most competitive person out there. I want to win. But if you win, it's like, I'm happy for you. I don't know how many times I've lost and been happy for the guy who won.
Yeah, but if I need my knee wraps wrapped, you'll wrap my knee wraps for me.
Right. Well,
and I'll do the same for you. Yeah, but that's kind of what they're trying to get at. Is the Strongman community is very almost like a family culture,
it's definitely different.
Yeah. And we'll all help each other. We want to win, of course, but we'll all help people reach their best. And that's kind of, kind of like, so if you needed something from me, or you needed me to lift your straps or whatever, or lend you my wrist straps, which I've done that to people before, giving them to like Big Z and Eddie and a few other people at times. Yeah, it's just part of the community, because back in the day, there was nobody to help us. So we get to a contest and you need help getting ready for them. We had to lean on each other.
Yeah.
And the older guys like me and Chad and quite a few other ones, we try to instill that in the younger guys. So it's a neat community. It really is, because
I
it was,
think when you look at, I think what makes strongman so unique as far as the sport goes is because everyone wants the other guys to do well. I mean, I can think about
right.
playing football. You looked across, you didn't want those other guys doing well, but like strongman's a little different. You want them to do well. It's like,
Yeah.
I can remember losing the North Americans to John Anderson. And I don't know who was more happy, him for winning or me, that I was just so psyched that he just won this big show. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you just look at those and you're just so excited because it's your friend and they did well. And it's like, yeah, you lost, but still they won. And I think that's the driving thing, is that I want you to do well because I want to beat you on your best day, not when you pull a Leon Lett and drop the ball and someone else scoops and scores. I mean, I've won that way a few times, and I don't mind. I'll take the win, but I want to beat you on your best, and I think that's what everyone wants to do. And I think that's what makes the sport truly awesome, is because everyone's very supportive of each other.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's pretty neat like that. You get a couple guys with beefs with each other every once in a while, but for the most part, almost all the guys like each other. There's two I can think about.
There's a few assholes, but there's not that many. I mean, let's just face it. No. I mean, again, you and I have been through this for 30 plus years. I've seen groups of guys come and go. This current group of guys, there's a few knuckleheads, but I think for the most part, they're all real down to earth. They're nice. They're good human beings, but there's always a jerk or two in the bunch. So can't let that spoil the whole bushel.
No, that's true. But how many guys do you think you helped get to the pro level and get to Worlds?
To get to Worlds or pro level?
Pro level.
34.
34? I'm one of the 34.
Men and women. Between men and women, yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know, it was Chad's contest. It was my third contest ever, and I went there and I got second by a point. And me and the guy that won beat all the pros that were in the contest. And I'm like, "Am I a pro?" He's like, "No, you got to win." So go to Van's meet in a month. Yeah. You'll do really well. I went to Van's meet and I won and got my pro card. But it was his encouragement, that really got me going and got me to where I needed to be. Without his guidance, I wouldn't have made it. So thanks, Chad.
Well, I think you'd have made it, but it might have taken a little bit longer. But I think just the push in the right direction was all you needed. And you had such a great base coming from drug-free powerlifting. I mean, I think that's just what people don't realize. Is like, everyone thinks you just showed up one day and you were great. It's like, no, man, the dude's been training for 20 plus years, It's like
already. Yeah.
And then when you take that training and where you're at, and then you switch gears into a different sport, I mean, there's a huge difference between powerlifting and strongman. And I think when you fully committed to strongman, it was like you were so damned athletic. I mean, I think that's again, if you look at what makes the best strongman, it's the athletes. I mean, you played ball, you played D line, you could obviously move, you move really well, you were very quick, and that bodes well for any type of moving or loading event in strongman. And then you look at you could squat, bench, and deadlift, that's for sure. I mean, it just took you a little bit of time to iron out the overhead press and not passing out, and then you were off to the races, man. So
but it was neat. It's neat to see how you have helped people over the years and do that and get in and succeed. And now you're training. How many of the guys that are at Worlds this year? How many of the guys are you helping?
It's only going to be one. Trey's going to get there. I don't think. I mean, Thomas should have gotten an invite, but he didn't get the invite. There's 4 left, and then he had a little bit of a tweaked injury at the Arnold, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. I mean, he's had the MRI, so he's had it all looked at, and all that's good. It's just a matter, will he get the invite to Worlds, and if he does, will he take it?
Right.
There's a lot of guys that I've helped there. I mean, I think it's bombs like this. I mean, I think because I coach for a living, it's like coaching is just part of what I do. So if someone needs help, you're going to help them. That's just what you do. I think that's the beauty of the sport itself. And then, coaching in the sport, I just want to see everyone do really well.
Yeah. Why don't you tell everybody who you coach with?
Well, Trey Mitchell's one of my guys.
Well, I mean, the other organization that you work for.
Oh, the Pre-C Speed School. Sorry.
Yeah. That too. And yes, Trey Mitchell.
I'm the director of business development for the Pre-C Speed School, so I help gym owners learn how to make money. It really is what it comes down to. So, you look at this. I own a gym. How many people, when they open a gym, how many of them have business knowledge? They come from a business background. Yeah. I know I did. My degrees were in exercise science and nutrition. So I've got lots of education, but it's not in business. So I had to learn the business the hard way. And the nice thing about Pre-C, it's all systemized, so everything's done systematically for you. So it's very easy to follow. And that's what makes it successful. And then if you look from youth sports performance, when I came into it, was a $3 billion industry. Last year, the United States spent $50 billion training kids. Yeah. By 2035, it'll be $150 billion. So if you're not training kids, you're losing money. And the thing is, it takes a special type of person. You got to like kids. I mean, I actually like children. I've been training children for a long time. So, it's really easy. But if you want to come in this industry, but you don't like kids, well, this is probably not the industry for you.
So, yeah, no kidding.
But that's my real job. That's my day job. So.
Yeah. And then, of course, working with Trey and Tom a little bit too as well, and then quite a few other pros. I used to bounce stuff off you all the time.
Yeah, I got guys at Siberian Muscle Power this weekend. Vilius is already there. Unfortunately, because it's in Siberia and there's Russia and Iran and all the stuff that's going on, that you talked about earlier, a lot of the visas got screwed up, so a lot of the American guys didn't even get to make it. So that kind of sucks. But that's the next big one, and then I just judged the show this last weekend with Magnus and Ilya here in Detroit. And we had a great time.
Oh, cool.
There's a big season coming up. So the North Americans are coming, so that's going to be good. I mean, Worlds is right around the corner. So we're looking forward to Worlds, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah,
that's going to be fun. That's really good. Myrtle Beach is a good place for Worlds too. I had a good time last time we were there.
I think it's nice because the weather's decent. There's stuff to do. The food's awesome, and there's some good gyms. So we'll go get some good gym time.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
a little different this year than it was the last time we were there, because now it's down to that fort. Now it's literally it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's like before it was spread out over an entire week, so it's a little bit better. But
why are they trying to kill these guys?
They're trying to save. Honestly, Bob, dude, come on. Bottom line is, it's all about money. You're saving the money. It used to be that you flew guys out. There was a whole week of qualifying, and then you were there for 10 days. You got to relax. You got to see some sights. I mean, it wasn't just a bam, bam, get in and out. Like when you're in South Africa, you got to go see. You went on a safari. You went and did stuff.
Yep.
And now it's just like you're in and you're out.
Strongman Survivor.
Yeah, and
now it's like Strongman Survivor. Really, seriously.
When you're going to shove in 10 events in 4 days. Well, I guess it's 10 events in 4 days. I guess it's better than 8 events in 2 days, like the schmo. But you're looking, it's just tough. I mean, I think it's just
actually, I would rather do 8 events in 2 days. To be quite honest,
I would rather do 8 events in 2 days than 10 events in 4, because it's like you're just strung out, tired. I mean, the most events I've ever done was 9 events in 3 days, and I was just like, dude, by the time you got that third day, and you've done 6 max effort events, you're smoked. And so a lot of it comes down to these guys. I think the who's going to win is the person who's in the best shape, and conditioning is going to be huge. And if you're not conditioned and in the weather, some of these guys come from like more northern climates, they're in for a rude awakening.
Oh, when they get out there and it's hot and humid, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah, Trey's doing a training camp with Andrew Burton and Andrade and Guardione, I believe, the first weekend of April. So they're in Texas. It's hot as balls anyways. So they'll be ready for it. Some of the other guys are doing training camps, but they're doing it in their home place, and it's still 40 degrees out. So that's not going to transfer well.
Exactly. I think no sun, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one thing those guys do need to do is take some rubber mats out into the street when they go to do deadlifts and deadlift out in the street on the rubber mats.
In the
out in
sunlight,
heat,
yeah,
get used to it.
100%.
Yeah, and go to do that. Same thing with the log.
Well,
Take
it's
the
funny.
log out in the street.
We used to do, like, we were just laughing as we were talking. I was talking to my wife about this. Like, the PSL Masters is going to be in August. It's like we used to do American Strongest Man. It was always in August in St. Louis. You want to talk about nasty? You want to talk about nasty?
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because we used to train for it. I had a radiant heater in the training hall. So the night before, because we always trained early in the morning, so I would go the night before, leave work, go to the gym, put in 2 10-gallon buckets of water, turn the radiant heat on. So you walk in, it's 98 degrees and 98% humidity. It's like, you get to nationals. It was like, how do you handle this shit? It's like, dude, I train in it. I train in it 5 in the morning, and it's 98 degrees and 98 degrees and 98% humidity. You're dying. But if you train in it, you're going to be fine when it comes to it. And I never had an issue in the heat. Back then. I mean, now I'm an old sissy. I trained in an air-conditioned heated building, so it's awesome.
I think that's how I survived the Giants Live in Indiana in 2016.
Yeah,
and won that show. I won that show because I was able to handle the heat. Probably
that was
probably a little better than everybody else.
Yeah, and that was a brutal ass show because I mean Indiana's summers suck, man. Because we always used to throw the Central, because when you did the Central, I mean, hell, we were downtown on the square, but it's still hot as shit. It's still 95 degrees, 95% humidity. The worst year we ever
but that was fine.
I think the 98.
I had no problem with it.
You didn't. A lot of people did. The 98 year, we were down at the park, and there was no wind. Oh my God, it was horrible. It was 98 degrees, 98% humidity. It had rained the night before. It was like steaming. It was horrible. We had guys dropping out left and right, just cramping, just from cramps and shit. So it was just brutal.
It's like training in a vegetable steamer.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's the way I could figure it.
That's about right.
But yeah, but it's good to see you, old man.
Yeah, it is. Always is. We don't get around that much as much as we'd like to anymore.
No. You're that whole whopping 2 days older than me.
I know. Feels like 40 though. 40 years. I don't have as much gray. I don't have as much gray in my beard though.
No. I think I have the most amount of gray, but my family's premature. Everyone's premature gray, so unfortunately too. Like
all the men in my family, by the time they're 70, are white haired. So I know what's coming. I don't know. I've held on to a lot of it, so it's not real. But
well, it's much more than me.
Like I got to keep it tight. And the only reason I'm growing this is because I read this study. It was like people buy from people who have beards. So I wore a beard to last year's summit. I sold 4 affiliates. So I've got more leads coming this year. So I grew the beard out. So I'm going to test that hypothesis. If I sell 8, then I'm going to keep the beard.
That's it.
Well, I'll keep the beard till I get home, and my wife tells me to shave it. So
I got the exact opposite. I shaved my beard once, and she's all, never do that again.
No,
dude.
She was just trying to tell me I was funny
with it. You know who's funny without a beard? Is Eddie Hall.
He looks like a child.
See what happened?
Oh my God!
Yes.
Oh no, he looks like what's his name? Stewie.
Yes,
he looks like Stewie.
He does. I remember
I love Stewie. People start calling him Stewie.
Scooney. It was 2002, maybe. We had done the GNC Show of Strength down in New Orleans, and he had shaved his beard. It's like, dude, don't ever do that again, because he looked like he was 12 years old. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was funny. It was terrible though at the same time. Yeah, I think one time Trey shaved. I go, you should shave your beard. And he shaves like, oh, dude, you should.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Don't do that again.
Don't do that again. Shave that. Grow that shit back. Yeah, you need to.
Exactly.
That's funny. For people who don't know, Chad has probably done more strongman contests than probably anybody in the history of strongman. I can't really think of too many more people who've done more than Chad.
I can tell you, Sojournas definitely has, probably double, because we had a long talk about that at Worlds one year. Donovan Raskin out of Texas, he's done probably 10 more shows than me, and I think maybe Johnny Waseka. Other than that,
really?
Johnny did a lot of shows. Now, I think he did some amateur shows, and I know Donovan did a lot of amateur shows. The majority of mine were always at the pro level, so or the old guy pro level when it became masters class.
Yeah, which are fun.
But yeah, I've done a lot of shows. I've just been around a lot. I think the 2 years I did the most, I did 43 shows in 2 years just because I had a sponsor that paid all the money. So if there was a show that had something I wanted to do, I just flew out and did it. But I gained a lot of experience. That was and I got to see the world and travel. And I had a lot of fun on other people's dimes, so can't complain.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
did you guys see that?
Go ahead, Ben.
Oh no, I was saying, with saying that many shows, the Mitchell Hooper and Zadrunas were getting a lot of commentation back, and Mitchell Hooper was talking about his achievements, his accolades, and then Zadrunas, I'm not saying he shitted on him, but he was like, you got quite his wall of medals and trophies that he showed. I was like,
you can't. I'm sorry. And
that's just some of them.
We can sit here and have debates all over the place, but you look at these eras and you look at the greatest of all time or the greatest of the era, as Joe Ken would call it. I think it's hard to dispute. I mean, someone will say it's like, I'm friends with Brian. I'm friends with all these guys. It's like, if someone asks me who's the greatest definitively, that's Zadrunas. You can't even argue it. I mean, the dude had IFSA world championships. He's had world's strongest man. He's won the Arnolds. I mean, look at how many shows the dude's done. He's done over 300 contests. And
that's a lot.
Over 3 decades. I mean, you got to think he was competing in the early 2000s, the 10s, the 20s. I mean, I think he might have done a show before the turn of the century because he was not that old. Because I think he did probably. He did his first Worlds, I want to say, in 97 in Vegas.
Well, I know he was powerlifting too. Yeah, I don't know if he was here in Vegas.
No, he was.
I know he was powerlifting.
No, he was there in Vegas in 97 because he dropped the stone on his chest.
Oh.
I remember that because he was going to load an Atlas stone and fell and just crushed his around his chest. He just stands back up and just keeps on loading. I thought it was amazing. And then I'm trying to think. It's got to be 98, 97. Wait, when was Prim? Prim was 97. 98 was Morocco. Where was 99 at? That was in Europe somewhere.
Was that the year?
No, 99 was in it was the island right off of Italy. Malta.
Malta.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild. Yeah. That's a long time to be doing the strongman. That's a long time.
But then you have
Mark Felix has lasted a long time, but that's a long time.
Mark Felix came in later though, but he didn't have he has nothing compared. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's competed longer or more than
harder.
And the thing is, level. Say what you want. And I know a lot of guys are like, well, I'm never going to do the Masters because that's just gay because, you're not a pro. You're just old guys. And you know what? It takes a lot of balls to go out there in your 40s and compete, in your 50s and compete, your 60s and compete.
Yep.
And look at where Zadrunas at. I mean, how many 40-plus world strongest mans do you have? How many 50-plus world strongest mans do you have? I mean, the dude's competed over 4 decades. I mean, I just don't think you can – you look at that and it's like – and that, not to mention that he's just a great dude. He's just a great dude.
Yeah.
We can sit here and say who's done the most for strongman? Well, I mean, now I think we can argue there. Is that Eddie? Is that Hofthor? Is that Brian Shaw?
Brian.
I mean, here's Hooper doing his thing. Is he helping or hurting strongman?
Well, I think in some ways he's helping an awful lot, but in some ways it's going to be interesting to see how this falls with the enhanced games and stuff.
I don't think it's going to change a damn thing. They can sit here and go, well, now they're enhanced. Well, yeah, they were enhanced before, dude. Now they're just under a doctor's supervision. And then he released that whole
smarter.
I'm sorry, he released that cycle that he said he did. It was like, who the hell is taking a gram of orals a fucking week?
Yeah.
I mean, if you are, wow. I mean, all I know is my liver and kidneys are crying right now just thinking about it. But I'm just sitting there thinking 100 milligrams of anadrol a day and 50 milligrams of halotestin
Oh
a day.
my God.
I don't know.
Oh
That's,
Yeah,
that's a
and the
lot of
Holocaust,
yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
toxic as well.
and
So,
then
Very
but
toxic.
I don't know. I mean, again, everyone can do. I'm like this. I don't care. Do whatever you choose to do. I mean, I
mhm,
chose to go drug free for the longest time. I mean,
mhm,
I did my entire open career drug free. You know,
mhm,
it was my choice.
yeah,
Did I cry about it? No. I said, this is what I'm going to do. And I did it. People didn't like it. I didn't
mhm,
give a fuck what they liked or disliked. I went out and did
right,
my thing, and I've done it the whole time the way I want to do it. And
mhm,
that's it. I mean, if that's what Hooper wants to do or anyone else will do, when people ask me, I go, dude, I don't care. If I'm coaching you, just be honest with me. That's the only thing I can ask
right,
you. Be honest. And if you're honest, then
yeah,
we'll work around shit. You know what? And
yeah. If you
you
got a
make,
coach,
yeah,
yeah, go ahead. Okay.
you got to know. And the thing is, like, I'm the first person to say, look, dude, I'm not an expert in this field, but I know a lot of people who are. So I'm going to refer you to someone who knows it better than me. I think that's the best.
Mm,
Any coach worth his salt would be, okay, this is my forte. This is what I'm good at. This is my wheelhouse. Something's outside my wheelhouse. I turn it out. Now
mhm,
I have a degree in nutrition. I am certified in nutrition. I've done a year with Nathan. I've done an internship with Nathan. I've worked with John Heck.
mhm,
I know nutrition, and I'm pretty good at
mhm,
it. I just don't like working with people on it because they lie and it pisses me off, and then it hurts our relationship. So I refer people to them because John Heck is way nicer than I am. Nathan Payton way nicer than me.
mhm.
You're fucking up your nutrition, and I'm doing it. I'm going to tell you. Listen,
Oh
cheater,
yeah,
cheater, closet eater. You know what? You should have lost a pound of fat. It's a simple mathematical equation. It's only 3,500 calories, but you haven't. So what you're telling me is you're not following the plan, and you're going off plan. Oh no, I do everything. Bullshit. I'll just call it on you. Those guys are nicer than I am, and I wouldn't do that. I just don't give a shit. You know what?
yeah.
Listen,
Chad won't pull any punches. If he'll tell you what he thinks, but
Yeah, well,
no, you're
Chad
not
doesn't
doing it.
candy it up for everybody, and that's what I always liked
Yeah,
about Chad because he shoots it
yeah.
straight from the hip.
like, if there's there
Mhm,
any other way, why would I blow sunshine up your skirt? There's no point in it. I mean, the point is,
right.
like, I want my athletes to do the best they possibly can. You know what? And I'm willing to say, look, I'm not the guy for this project here. Let's find you the right
Mhm,
person. I mean, I will say this. I
sure.
mean, I've been very blessed to get mentored and coached by so many great coaches. But spending the last
Mhm,
3 years with Joe Ken, I mean, again, here's Joe Ken, two-time NCAA strength coach of the year, one-time NFL strength coach of the year. Well, the dude's done more physical preparation than anybody I know. So just having Joe coach me as my coach, and then getting to coach with him. I mean, I kind of feel bad because I feel like I'm the guy bringing the least to the table, but like I know the strongman stuff, so I answer some of those questions. But I've learned so much
mhm,
from him just on physical preparation, on top of what I've already known. I mean, hell, if you look at my body of work, I got more. I got more money tied up in it. Hell, I've got probably $200,000 tied up in my education in the last 30 years because I spend money every year on more education because I want to be a better coach. But part of being a better coach is understanding that I can't be the best at everything. I can be the best at what I do. And there's other people
mhm,
that I farm it out to. So, I mean, there's guys that do the psychological side. There's guys that do the nutrition side, the drug side. There's just so much stuff there that you can't be good at all of it. And I
Yeah.
think if one thing, and I talk to a lot of coaches, like, I think they're all really good coaches are the same. They want the best for
mhm.
their athletes, and they're willing to listen to anyone. You're gonna something. Let me hear it. I mean, Nick, you and I have talked so much about training. It's like we
Oh
pick
boy.
stuff up, and it's like, you know,
Yep.
I'm not proud. I'm a, I'm a. I'll beg, borrow, and steal whatever I can that's going to make it better. I mean, I think
Mhm.
Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do is the best thing for martial arts because he took this from this art and that from that art and made it one art of his that was
That's it. The
effective.
first mixed martial art.
Yeah. I mean, Jeet
Mhm.
Kune Do was the first mixed martial arts. So I look at
Yeah.
Strongman. I stole a lot of stuff from Dr. Leisner and then the West Side guys. I mean, I don't know how many phone calls I've had to talk to Louis when I first opened the gym. I was probably calling him, I mean, I'm sure I was the annoying kid because I remember his wife answering, Louis, it's this kid. It's that kid from Kokomo again, Chad. He wants to ask you another question. So, like, but that's what, I mean, you should always be seeking knowledge and always trying to become better.
Mm-hmm. Oh, agreed. Yeah, it's interesting because I got this kid named Justin who's coming here. He's 17, and he's got it. He has it. He's about 5'10", 5'11", maybe even almost 6 foot, and he's just, that desire you see in somebody when they come in and they're literally willing to work till they puke.
Yeah.
They want to be there so bad. I think the hardest thing with him is teaching him patience, and then teaching him not every workout you have to hit a PR in. Sometimes you just need to go in and put the work in. Today, for instance, he came in and we trained this morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and he had a decent bench day. It wasn't great, wasn't bad, and then he was probably about between 5 and 10% off. And he's all getting mad. I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Well, I'm working hard and this and that." I go, "Yeah, but you're not going backwards. It's called training for a reason. You're putting in the work. You're off a little bit today. Take what your body has today,
Right.
learn to read your body, and know what you have on that given day and make the best of it. You don't have to hit a PR every time you go work out. It's the consistency over years that's going to keep the gains coming and keep you moving ahead without getting injured." So
really mitigating injury and mitigating and maximizing progression. I think too many people get we live in a Western society where we cross context economics to everything. So more's better, more's better, more's better. No, the right amount's the right amount, and any more than that, now you can't recover. And I think and again, I look at this, especially watching preps going in for these big shows, and these guys pulling. I pulled a massive PR 2 weeks from the contest. And then you shit the bed at the contest. Well, it's because you train too heavy, too close, And I think when people realize that, like, your training is to build strength, competing is to demonstrate strength. Now, if you're demonstrating PRs in the gym all the time, what happens when you get the contest? And there's a lot of big names out there that talk a lot of shit before a contest, and they shit the bed. I just think I'm like this: train, show up, leave it there. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Now, honestly, before the Arnolds, I could have told you definitively we're going to pull well over 1,000 pounds based on the training. Now, we get to the Arnolds, 26 minutes from last warm up to first pull, 32 minutes from first pull to second pull. Whose fault? Was that Trey's fault? No, that's my fault.
Mm-hmm.
That was my fault. I should have warmed him up better. I should have picked a better attempt. That was all on me. So I as a coach, you got to own that. It's like, and the thing is, like, wasn't like I had to sit there the year before and watch Hofstra do the same thing, because he did, and he didn't pull that big load because why? Because he sit there for too freaking long. I should have. That's in my notes. I mean, because I take notes. I give myself notes after. I grade myself after a contest. What could I have done better? What could
how many times you guys heard me tell you to write stuff down? Now you're listening to another guy who's really smart telling you to write stuff down.
I mean, guys, honestly, I got this is a training journal from Elite FTS. I literally write everything down. I write every workout down. Now, granted, I have access to training apps and shit. I use them for my clients. For myself, I'm an old pen and paper guy. I just remember, I'm sure you remember Tommy Kono. Most people won't know who Tommy Kono is. He's a great one of the best Olympic lifters in this country. But Tommy Kono was once quoted like, the faintest of pen is better than the sharpest of memory. And that stuck with me. And I was told to keep a journal. When I went to the gym in 1980, I was told to keep a journal. Now, my mom took me to a Nautilus gym, so I got a thing that they would hand you. And you fill out all your workouts. So I filled those out, and then I got a notebook, and I started putting everything in a notebook. So I would have it. It wasn't stuck at the gym. I would have it. I could take it home and read notes on it. Now, I laugh. When I went through my divorce and all that stuff was at my mom's house in 2016, I just decided I was going to clean sweep it, and I took every training journal and pitched them. And that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And I just wanted a clean slate. Now, since then, I mean, that was 2016. So now I've got 10 years of journals.
Yeah.
I would have 40 plus years of journals, but I threw them away, but why write it down? Because you can keep notes. You can tell yourself, keep stories in there. You can, hey, I invented a new movement today, something I'd never done before. So you can write that in there, and you can. I think you're. I call it the lab. Like, you're going to training? So no, I'm going to the lab. What's the lab? My body's the lab. So everything I do at the gym is I'm the laboratory you're at. So if I wouldn't try it on someone else if I hadn't tried it on myself.
Yeah, you're the walking experiment, which is something else I tell people all the time. You do your own research on you.
Yeah.
Find out what works best for you, because you're not me.
I mean, here's the
thing. We're all the same, but we're all different.
I think we're all within this percentage, but it's like what works for you and what works for me and what works for someone else. There's a lot of different ways to the top of the mountain. We can sit here and we can debate that. Is it 5 times 5? Is it Pavel's 5 times 5? Or was that Reg Park? Or we can sit here and talk about the conjugate method, and did Louis stole that from the Russians, right? Or the Eastern Bloc. Well, okay, whatever. I look at it like this: find a system that works and just keep doing it. Now, the thing is, if you find a system that works and you like it, do it. If you hate your training, you're not going to do it. So just fucking stop. And it's
so
like
find what works for you.
Find what works, and then just stick with it and refine it and make it yours. I mean, it's funny because someone asked me, "How do you train?" I train every client based upon what their needs are, not what I think. Is everyone on a conjugate program? No. I've got some people who are still on straight ass linear progression. Why? Because it's still working. If it's working, you don't need to fix it. Now. Do I like technology? I finally got Trey using a velocity-based training. So we use a rep 1 to time his speed of his reps. Well, what's that data giving us? It's giving us better points of, like, if we can get his speed up, that's gonna transfer over to being stronger. So like if you've watched Trey's deadlift, they're all the same speed. Whether he pulls 135 or 935, it looks the same. Now we're really trying to work on pulling with maximum violence. And I think once he starts to learn that, I think the intention of his lifts are going to be different. So in essence, I think he could be the first person to pull a 500 kilo deadlift with no suit, but it will all be based around, can we keep the velocity of the bar moving? Because that's what's going to teach his CNS to be able to pull 500 kilos raw. Now, can we slap him in a suit? He's got a suit. We got a suit last year at Worlds. So can we stick him in a suit? Possibly. Problem is he trains by himself. So you know how hard it is to get a damn deadlift suit by yourself. It's like, that's horrible.
Well, he could also just put it on and pull it on, use it as a half suit.
Yeah.
So he can use the lower half of it.
But when you talk to Trey hates suits, so he don't like putting suits on.
Well, sometimes it's just... It would not hurt him to train in at least the bottoms for a little while.
Hey, dude,
to protect himself.
Look, he's still and he's not supposed to have gravy with every meal, but he does.
Yeah.
So, not supposed to have what?
Gravy.
Mom, gravy. Well,
Carol ratted him out, so I asked Nathan. I said,
"He's big thicket for a reason."
I go, Trace. He puts gravy on it. So he goes, "Well, Chad, if you're not from Texas, you don't realize that gravy's anabolic." I'm like, So, all right,
that's funny.
But Carol kind of ratted him out that he likes his gravy, he likes his sweets. So,
it's okay. You just got to figure that into his calories.
You know what? Nathan does a hell of a job. If you saw him, he's 370 with abs. I mean,
yeah.
And his waist is ridiculously, like, his back is so wide, but his waist is so small. It just doesn't look. It looks like a cartoon.
No, Nathan's smart. Nathan's really smart. He saved my tail at the Shaw last year. He really did, because I've been on my feet for 3 days. I hadn't eaten much that day. I was not ready to go. And he came over. He's like, "Let me check you." And I'm like, he pricks my finger. He's like, "Oh, well, you're ready to go read a book."
Yeah.
Not ready to go lift. And so he got like a bunch of, dextrose and stuff like that into me. And I started feeling real better and went out and hit that squat, and I was like, all right, well, this is what I have for today. But I was happy with it. I mean, I was
considering
pretty
you're
tired.
working 3 days on your feet.
Yeah, dehydrated.
And the thing is what people realize, and the people, I always laugh at this because like when Brian was doing the show as he was the pro, well, he's got a significant advantage because it's his equipment, it's his show. And I'm like, you people are so damn
The
dumb.
disadvantage.
The dude's been working his ass off for 4 months pulling this together, and then the last week, it's like you can't get that guy to sit down. Brian, get off get off the loader. No, he won't let anybody on that. Other than him, and he's cramped in there, all bound up. It's like people thought that was an advantage. No, there's no fucking advantage there. And it's like if you've ever stood at that show and been on your feet, like I'm exhausted. Like after that show,
and he's up making sure the events are tested and ready to go.
Right, because you're emotionally you're invested in it because you want the guys to do well. You got the stress of every fucking internet warrior bitching about your calls. Like, look, bro, you know what? I'm here for a reason, and you're on the internet. Okay, I've been given this job, and I'm going to do the job to the best of my ability. And if you don't like my job, I don't give a shit. I don't answer to you. There's one guy that wrote, here's the rules, his name's on the show, and that's what I'm doing. And if people don't like it, I don't fucking care. Just don't.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting thing being in that hot seat because I got to experience that this year at OST.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like, yeah, okay, well, the rules say you got to get your hips through. Your hips aren't through. I'm sorry. If your knees are slightly bent, your hips can't be through. So sorry, no lift. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't care who you are. It's not.
Well, bottom line is this. Like, here's the thing. I always say this to Mike, and you'll get a laugh on this, Nick. So at the, I judged that SCL right around when you had your accident.
Right.
So there's two judges. So these guys are over going this. Paper, scissors, and rock crew has to have me as a judge. Because there's I'm like,
oh my God,
what the fuck is that all about? It's like, because the other judge is way easier than you, so we have to go. We just don't want you. No fair way to do it. It's paper, scissors, rock for it. Which I thought that was kind of funny. But
that is kind of funny.
I think if you're judging a show, and I always say this, if I got to judge your lift, you didn't do it right. So you see this on the back, it says judge on the back. You do the job right, I don't have to do anything. I don't make a judgment.
Correct.
Now, if you make me make a judgment call, that's a different story. I'm sure you remember Janasha at Shaw, and he complained about that lift. We went back. I'm above. Hey, man, I can make a mistake. We all went and looked at it. It was a no lift. We all agreed. But it was there on paper, but it was there on the video so people could see it. But I think when people just have to understand, judges got to do their job. Now, some judges are better than others.
Yep.
Some people make more mistakes than others. I look like this. I can make mistakes. I do my best to not. And if I do make a mistake, I'm willing to fix it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah,
we're starting to write rules in such a way like this year. You can't challenge anyone else's lift. You can only challenge your own. That was a new rule at the Arnold. So, guy has his thumb off the bar on a deadlift. I can't challenge it. He has to challenge his own call, which very interesting there. But that's
which no one's judging themselves on that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I've seen some really bad judging, and if a judge gives a lifter a down call, it's not the lifter's fault. I always saw that. Like I judge all my guys. My guys are like this. Dude, you better do it right. Do it like I'm sitting. Nick, you would laugh at this because at the Arnold's, like we're backstage getting ready to warm up. Hey, would you mind judging my lift? I'm like, what do you need to judge your fucking lift for? It's a warm up. Yeah, but I figure if you gave it to me back here, I'll get it when I go out there. I'm like,
that's true.
Fair enough. So I judged a judged a shitload of lifts behind stage, and you know what? I don't know. I just was taught this is how you do it. It's black or white. There's no shades of gray.
I did that a couple of times at OST last year. I'd walk to the back before the log, and there's some people back there. And a couple of girls were lifting, a couple of guys were lifting. I walked back. I'm like, down. We're just like, you gotta be emotional. You gotta have control of it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you down just because you got to lockout. You need to get to lockout and have control of it. Once you get that, I'll give you down. And so I did that for a few people, and they kind of like figured it out pretty fast. So
Yeah.
it's kind of neat when you're judging. You got time to go back and do that for a hot minute, but a lot of times you don't get that opportunity.
No,
So,
not when you're judging, dude. You're such in the thick of that. Like the big shows are just like, dude, you got to keep your eye on that. OSG is a little different. It's not like Worlds or the Schmo or Arnold's. It's a lot different, but it's still a huge responsibility because those people paid a lot of money to get there, and they're traveling there. They should get a good judge. I think it's important. I think it's important to do a good job. And I think for the most part, judging is a thankless job. You just go on fucking Reddit and hear all about yourself. What an asshole you are.
I was pretty honored when I got asked to do the last day because there was only 2 of us on the last day, and we did the whole thing. So I was pretty honored when they asked me to do that. That was pretty special to me. I felt pretty good about it. But,
no, I mean, I think, and again, I thought you did a good job. There's just, it's objective, not subjective. I think that's the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we as judges can be very objective about it, keep our personal opinions out of it.
Well, and the funny thing is I've set a few world records in my day. And I'll say this, there's nothing worse than getting a call that you shouldn't have, and it's a world record.
Yeah.
Because you take all the abuse for it, not the judge. And that's not right. It's like, it's not my fault. I didn't judge myself. I just went and did the lift. They told me down. I put it down.
Yeah. Look at Worlds in 23 on the circus dumbbell. I wouldn't have given him a dumbbell past 290. Okay. And you know what? In retrospect, that's what everyone bitched about. So I think you judge it the same for everybody, and you make it tight.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that judging at the Arnold's this year, I think was probably some of the better judging I've seen at the Arnold's. They did a really good job of rotating judges through. There was I saw a few calls that I would on the pro stage that I would have, I wouldn't have given that one, but that's just me. But I thought for the most part, they did a really good job for both the men and women. The amateurs, that's a whole different story, I'm going to go with the Fifth Amendment on that one.
Yeah. I can understand that as well.
Yeah.
But, oh man. Well, Bud, we've been at it for about 47 minutes.
So now are we doing the whole, we get everything else ironed out for April?
Yeah. We're coming out.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys we'll have to go get a bed because you're going to get the couch because I already had the whole crew, but we've got plenty of room. I don't really care. Does about you.
No, that's cool.
But my ass gets up early in the morning anyway, so.
Oh yeah. Well, we're all early morning people anyways. It's probably the younger ones.
Yeah, all the fucking old bastards like we're fighting for a bathroom. Well, you have Ben, how old are you?
I'm 43. I'll be 44.
Oh, God, you're a fucking baby. I don't want to hear your shit.
Well, it's the beard. It makes me look a little more distinguished.
Yeah, you got me, Joe, and Nick, and I. That's like it's close to 180 years for the human beings right there, man.
Yeah. Well, it was funny, kind of like the Giants Live in Indiana. That was the 3 oldest guys finished first, second, and third. Because I got first, Mark Felix got second, and then, oh, God, he's going to kill me. I'm totally drawing a blank on his name. But he's from Indiana, too.
Derek Devon.
Yeah, Derek Devon. DD, double Ds. So double D was third, which was pretty funny.
I don't think he was 40 yet, though. You and Mark were in his 40s, but I think he was still in his 30s.
Mm-hmm. I think he was 39. 38 or 39.
No, he can't be that fucking old.
He was the 3rd oldest guy in the show.
Maybe he was. I don't know. Now I'm curious. I'll shoot him a text and say, "How fucking old are you, man?" I just remember. I
missed that guy.
He came up with Brandon Collins from Indy, and just this big mute. Like you just look at him. He's just got huge hands. He played baseball for Christ's sake. That's a big ass. That's a big ass first baseman, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding.
But like he comes in and we have those. Do you remember those old nasty tanks? I think they use them at Giants Live because I sold them.
Mm-hmm.
But those big, those 300. They were. I think they had them shaved down to 342 for you guys. But when
I love
Scooney
those
had first made those, there were 351 per hand, and they were 9 inches off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a 700-pound fucking deadlift just to stand up with the fuckers. Now the crazy thing is when Scooney made them, it took him about 20 seconds to stand up, and once he stood up with them, he could walk them as far as he wanted. Like I could stand them up, but I couldn't walk them that. I didn't walk them that far. But those implements are pretty. Those are pretty rough. Those are pretty rough.
I liked them. I could go fast.
Well, I know you probably. I'm sure you won that. Yeah, but those are some rough implements, and I think now they reside at Nick Wortham has a bunch of my old stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you look at his hall, he's got the old power stairs from Kokomo.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It's funny because that contest, your contest that we did that year, I've found out I was really good at the farmers.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever did them.
Are you shitting me? You were fat. So you smoked the whole group. I think, was that a straightaway that year? Was that 200-foot straightaway?
Mm-hmm. I think it was 100 feet straightaway. Yeah. And I just slaughtered everybody's time. I was literally almost running with them.
Yeah, because I think we had switched to, that was 30 meters, yeah.
It was 330 a hand?
Yeah, it was 330. Did you guys use the tanks or did you guys use implements? I can't remember.
I think there were tanks.
If there were tanks, we had 2 sets of 351s and we had a set of 308s. So I don't know. I've so many shows. We did one show with the 308s into the 351s. That sucked. We had those 351s down where you were at. There was 2 streets over was a parking lot. So just this nasty black asphalt parking lot. We did the show there one year, and it was 20 meters down, 20 meters back with those big tanks. And I just remember, and it was hot. It's hot as hell. I think everyone just destroyed their hands. And if you remember, God, who won it that year? Steve McDonald. Yeah, Steve McDonald came to Kokomo. It was like 3 weeks before. It was kind of a tune-up show. We were giving away a decent amount of money and stuff. He tore his calluses. He shredded his hands on the farmers and the duck walk. And he couldn't train grip or anything for 3 weeks. And then he won America's Strongest Man. He goes, I really think the thing that made me win is I tore my hands up so bad in Kokomo, I couldn't really train hard for like 2 weeks because I just think I totally recovered. Then he stomped everyone's ass at America's Strongest Man. Yeah. Did you do that? Did you do that? That was 2000.
Yep.
6.
Yeah. I got 6 that year.
6 that year. What'd you get the next year?
That was when
we were down in North Carolina.
Second.
To
Derek and I basically tied on everything except for the overhead events, and he just killed me in the overhead events. Yeah. That was the year the Viper press came out, and I think he did like 13 reps with 275 in a minute or something.
Yeah, he was.
And then we had the block presses, and he just destroyed the block presses.
Wow, that block press sucked ass.
But all the other events, all the speed loading events, and all the other stuff, I was neck and neck with him the whole way. I mean, our points besides the overhead on that contest, we were tied, but he was that far ahead of everybody else.
He won both those, and I it's funny because I remember that show because I remember Mike. Like I'd been to so many Americas, like that was the biggest margin of victory that had ever happened at an America's Strongest Man. And I said that, and it's like it wasn't to be mean to anyone that was there. It was just this is the facts, and I was just being factual about it. Now at the same point, that was the split year, so Carl Gillingham wasn't there. Mark Philippi wasn't there. Phil Pfister wasn't there. I think that would have made it a little different mixture. Not that Derek wouldn't have won, because I think he could have won. But I think having all those guys at the same time would have been a different show.
The split year was 2005. So 5.
Yeah, but they were still split. They were still split then because now remember they had the IFSA. They had the IFSA agreements. So that was 2004-5, and actually Philippi had dropped his contract in 5 and came back, but at that point that you didn't really there was no more qualifying for Worlds like it was before. You went to American Strongman and qualified. Now it's just like they kind of went to the cherry picking shit that they're doing now. I'm not saying that people now don't deserve to come. They do, but like, I'm sorry, when you leave like Thomas Evans sitting out here and you've already invited 21 people and Thomas Evans isn't one of them. He's been at the top 5 in every major show. Are you shitting me? I mean, is that overlooked? I don't know. It's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, he actually should get a nod. He really should. I mean, he's going to be tough to beat in everything.
He's just solid. He's just since he started working with Joe, and that was after Worlds last year. That Joe and he'd ask, "Will you guys help?" Well, yeah, I would love to. 20 events. He's PR'd 19 out of 20 events. I mean, come on, dude. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. So, but he's had a great. And again, people don't realize that, like, well, you can't do all these shows. And it's like, if you actually have a real job, a lot of these guys don't have real jobs. Let's just say it. We have real jobs. The ones who do have real jobs, okay, I can get vacation time. I can do this. I can do that. Maybe your boss is cool. When you're a D1 strength coach, you're in season, dude. There's there's no fucking day off.
There's no off season.
There is no. Well, because
there's so many sports. There's no off season.
I mean, he's the head strength coach for lacrosse, but he's also helping with football and baseball and all these other sports. So it's not like you're always on. And then that's your team, but now you've got these 3 other teams you work with. So you're working with 300 kids on a daily basis, man. That's a different beast. Now, some guys have real jobs that they work a 9 to 5. Yep. Working a 9 to 5 jobs, it's a part-time job in my opinion. But I'm also an idiot who's worked 60 plus hours a week since the day I could work. So maybe I'm not the person to judge that by, but like, yeah, well, there's people, or my kids, Dad, you need work-life balance. Like, no, I need purpose, man. I have purpose when I go to work. So when I look at my phone every day, what's it say? It's if not you, then who? Making a difference one child at a time. And that's what Parisi's about. So I live that mission on a daily basis. So I think if other people did, it'd be a little better place to live.
It would be a better place to live. Oh, I agree.
And Nick, man, that's a beautiful high point to drop out at. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And Chad, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for staying up late, by the way, Chad.
Yes,
3 hours, 11 o'clock, man.
And you got to get up early.
I got to get up at 5.
You can see those eyes starting to squint and get closed.
Dude, like that's what I'm like. I'm sitting there going, God, do I look like I either look like I'm, yeah. Yeah, but this is what I do all day. Is I Zoom calls all day and phone calls all day. So I'm like, coming back up to this office and shutting the light off was kind of nice. Otherwise, you would have been blind because that's right over my head. So.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we'll finish this up, but let's jump on a call tomorrow or Friday and iron out all the Myrtle Beach stuff.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
That sounds good,
well,
guys.
Everybody, thank you, Chad, for coming on.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Ben, for doing what you do. And as everybody always, just go out and be good to everybody. And as always, train hard, train smart, and be the best that you can be. Good night, guys. Have a good day.
You're listening to the best